Shalom, shalom. I want to get a quick lesson in Revelations 12 and 1. But I want to start off by giving thanks, all praise to the Most High, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. I want to give double honor and praise to the Most High and to the prophets and the elders that have came before me, pushing this truth and this message to the four corners of the earth. I also want to thank all the Akwath listening and learning. And I just wanted to touch on a few verses from Revelations 12. Start from the verse 1, and I'll probably go all the way down to about 10. So let's go ahead and get started. Revelations 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head was a crown of 12 stars. So what that's speaking of is that great woman that is speaking of, and that great wonder that's the nation of Israel. And Yahweh compares the nation of Israel to a delicate, beautiful woman many times throughout the Bible. And that just lets you know how much he loves us and how he looks at us. He looks at us as his wife, as his maid, his match. And a precept for that would be Jeremiah 6 and 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion to comely and a delicate woman. So right there he's telling you, he's likening us to a delicate woman. Revelations 21 and 12. And John saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, come down from God out of heaven, and prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. So again, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. So again, he's letting you know. And I got another one for you. Jeremiah 3 and 20. Surely as a wife treacherously departed from her husband, so have you dealt treacherously with me, O house of Israel, saith the Lord. So basically he's saying when a woman backslides and cheats on her man, he compares that to when the children of Israel backslide and go against the Lord. So he's saying it's the same thing. It's the same type of love. He loved you the same way. Ain't no change in that, man. That just shows you how deep his love is, and a lot of people don't understand that. All right, we're gonna go back to Revelations 12 and 2. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, pain to be delivered. So this is talking about a woman going through child pains, childbirth. Like right before they have the child, they're going through birth pains. This is great tribulation. This is it's a tumultuous time. She cried is referring to the suffering of the nation Israel, the suffering that we've been going through for many, many years. Slavery, bondage, 70 AD, Babylon and Timbuktu. Just read that book if y'all need to know more. But we've been in multiple captivities with the Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, and now we're here in America with Ammon, Moab, Ishmael. We've been in captivity with many nations. And that's the birth pains that it's talking about, the tribulation that we've been through. And just a precept for that, it would be Psalms 83 and 2. For lo, thy enemies have made atonement. They hate thee, and have lifted up thy head. And they taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. So right there, it's letting you know that even the Lord sees the wicked ways that people are treating us, and he sees the birth pains we're going through. So nothing goes unseen, no rock goes unturned. So he knows everything. Then verse 4, they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may not be no more in remembrance. So again, it's more tribulation. He's speaking it right here. Hard times and tribulation, that's what we've been going through. All right, so we're going to jump down to Revelation, verse 3, 12 and 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. Now in this verse 3, when it's talking about this red dragon and having 7 heads and 10 horns, this is talking about not an actual beast, but a beast of the system, actual rulership. These are different eras and different stages of rulership and Esau Edom, aka the devil, which is the deceiver. Well, we can get into the seven horns, which they just represent Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Russia, and Great Britain. Those are your power. That's your seven heads. Then your 10 horns would be Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Denmark, Ireland, United Kingdom, Greece. So these are United Nations. These are all your United Nations and all your other countries that are also ran by Esau Edom. So basically, that's what verse 3 is basically detailing. Is letting you know, and it's detailing all the different rulerships of Esau Edom, aka the devil, aka deceiver. Revelations 12:4. And his tail drew a third part of the stars in heaven, and did cast them to earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to deliver, for to devour the child as soon as it was born. So basically, like I was telling you, like the seven head, the Salaki, 7 heads and 10 horns, that basically is referring to the different rulerships of Esau Edom. And basically, I'm wanting to touch in Genesis, and I wanted to get a touch on Genesis chapter 27:39, and I wanted to talk about the blessing that Esau had, and start with verse 39 to 40. And Isaac his father answered said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Meaning the fatness, man, he's gonna get the excess. You know, the excess, the fat. The fat is the excess. It's not the protein part. It's not the meat. It's the excess. And the dew of heaven from above. So he's gonna get the mist, the dew, the very little, very little. And thy sword shall thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. So he should live by the sword. He shall serve his brother. Just like Esau Edom is doing now, he's living by the sword. Everything he does by the sword, by that gun. When thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke off thy neck. So as of right now, they've been for the past 400, 500 years, they broke that yoke off their neck, and they've been in rulership. That's why you see all these paintings and all this rewriting of history, because Esau Edom's in rulership, and he wants to have everybody remember his time in rulership. Now this dragon is alluding to two different things. This has two different meanings. We all know the great red dragon can also mean the deceiver Esau Edom. That's one way, because we know in Genesis chapter 25 verse 30 that it describes Esau Edom as red, and I touch on that. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Was his name called Edom? And also Psalms 137 refers to Edom as the daughter of Babylon. And that touches on another aspect of what he was talking about, the red dragon, which means that touches on the mystery school of Babylon, which is directly from the bloodline of Satan. That's where you touch on in Genesis when you talk about Eve and the serpent, because she was hearkening to his teachings, teachings that Babylon followed after they left the Garden of Eden. But that's a whole other subject for another day. Don't want to get off topic. Stay on Revelations. To get back to this, so basically that's talking about, like I said, it's the mystery school system, and that's alluding to another aspect of the red dragon, because it was talking about the mystery school system that would deceive the earth for so many years. All right, Revelations. Oh, one more thing I want to touch on that. Just like it said in Revelation 12:4 that it wanted to devour the child. So when it was talking about devouring a child, well, the child that we had, the nation of Israel had, was Yahushua. That's the man child, which I'll touch in on verse 5 and 6. But the dragon, Rome, which is one of the powers, or you want to say one of the errors of Esau Edom. Rome was the entity that killed Yahushua. And so that's the same. That's what it's alluding to when it's talking about that red dragon that wanted to devour the child as soon as it was born, because they didn't want the Savior to come, because they knew once the Savior would come, it was the end for them. They knew it was the end. They just like now, they know the Savior will come. It's the end for them. They're done. They're finished. All right. So let's jump down to Revelation 12 and 5. And she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with the iron rod. And her child was caught up to God and his throne. So we should all know this. Who is this man child? That's Yahweh Shai. Man child is just another way of saying a baby boy, for anybody who has a question. And who has to rule all nations. So we already know. Yahweh Shai was here to rule all nations with an iron rod. He was here to tell all nations what was right and what was wrong. And again, the Bible is referring to Israel as a delicate woman. And we birthed our Savior, Yahweh Shai. Alright, so let's get into Revelation 12 and 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness where she had place prepared half a place prepared of Yahweh, that they should feed her in 2,230 days. Salaki. The meaning of and just like I said, what it's talking about, when it's alluding to the woman fleeing to the wilderness, that's talking about just like in Exodus, in different times in captivity where we had to flee from different nations and flee from captivity and flee in the wilderness, just stay alive. And when it's talking about has prepared a place for Yahweh, it's talking about we always have had prepared a place for worship. We always have worshiped the Most High. We always got to do that. We always got to have it in the forefront of our mind. Always, 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 always. Throughout the hardships, we still have to put Yahweh first. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh first. That does not matter. If anybody wants to read more into that, it's you can touch on Exodus 15, 22nd verse to about 18 to 27th verse, and that touches on the wilderness and to Sinai with Moses, and that's another aspect of talking about fleeing to the wilderness. It's talking about different times when we fled out of captivity. And all right, another aspect that I want to touch on that's part of the mission school system is when it's talking about in verse. One second. Make sure I'm talking about it. Yeah, when it's talking about in verse 4, when it's talking about the dragon devours the child as it was born, and this also alludes to another aspect that many people don't really pay attention to, and that's talking about the child sacrificing or abortion, because this ritual has been partaken for a very long time since Babylon. And what they would do is they would sacrifice children unto Baal, and they would sacrifice them as soon as they were born, and that was the sacrifice they were giving. They were sacrificing children, and this same sacrifice would be done during the same time of Christmas, and that's where you get this. This where you get this tradition from, and they carried this tradition and brought it to America, and how they've made it covertly common and cool is they basically have disguised it as, well, since you feel like you can't take care of your child, they'll say, well, you can abort it. And that's another way that they get their feel for their blood, for their God, through the abortion. So people got to understand where all this stuff comes from and where it originates, because if you don't, you'll fall susceptible to the wrong thing. So like, I'm trying to see if I can find this video that'll help edify it a lot, help edify it a lot better. But if I can't, I'll just tag. I'll put the link in my YouTube description for the video. Yeah, that's what I do. I'll put the link in my video, so y'all go down in my description. Y'all look for that video. The video goes in more detail about the abortion clinics and how that pertains into Baal worship and child sacrifice. So let's finish this out real quick. Wrap this up. Verse 7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Revelation 12 and 8. And they prevailed not. Neither was there a place found any more in heaven. We already know heaven means kingdom. Heaven means rulership. So they was at war. So what this saying is they brought the mighty serpent down, the mighty rulership in the mighty mystery school of Babylon down. That it was no more. They had no place in rulership. They had no kingdom anymore. They were brought down. And that great dragon was cast out. That old serpent called the devil, Satan. Oh, there we go again. The devil, Satan, deceiver. Esau to get casted out. Was deceiving the whole world. Which he's doing that right now. He's deceiving the whole world. He has cast him out into the earth. And his angels were cast out with him. So what that's talking about is onto the earth is it's talking about he's going to be to a lower state. He's going to be a commoner. He's going to be a regular person. He's not going to be in rulership anymore. He's not going to be able to stipulate these laws to us anymore. And it's a very short time. Like he has a very short time left because this is going to happen. This is prophecy right here. This is prophecy at hand. And let's close it up with verse 10. Revelations 12:10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of his brethren is cast him down, which accused him than before our God day and night. So what that's talking about is the accuser that has accused day and night and cast down. That's talking about Esau Edom. That's talking about the devil. That's talking about the deceiver. And so he's talking about that finally that will be over with. Like our troubles will be over with. We'll be brought out of Jacob's trouble. And if y'all want to know about that, y'all can go to my Instagram. Y'all hit up that live. And I just want to let y'all know, we will be doing more videos like this. We will be more frequently posting. We'll be more frequently just active with more videos. Cause I know y'all like the interaction. So y'all just look out for it. I'm going to try to keep them going. Y'all just work with me. Thank y'all.